Hi, good evening, Bhante, and all Kayana Mita Sukihotu. I'm Brother Lim, and welcome to Sutta discussion, day 56 by Bhante Dr. Kanko Davila Chandima. And tonight, we are going to discuss about the seven class of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, middle path, about the right action or sammākammanta. This Zoom class is always open. So for those who are interested, please contact us on Ti-Ratana Bedana Facebook messages. We also have uploaded the previous 55 classes on Ti-Ratana Vihara Bedana Facebook page and YouTube channel. Our speaker, Bhante Dr. Kanko Davila Chandima, is the senior advisor to Bhante Sutta. Bhante Sutta is a virtual Dharma organization that helps beginners as well as expert students in learning the Dharma in variety ways. You can check on Bhante Sutta with the link www.bhattisota.blogspot.com. Many people are interested in Dhammapariyesana, Bhante Sutta most acclaimed interview series, which Bhante conducted on regular basis. In 2015, Bhante Dr. Chandima earned a PhD in a Buddhist study from the University in Jayawardenepura in Sri Lanka. From 2012 to 2016, Bhante served as a Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. And in 2016, was a research fellow at the Center of Religion and Society of University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Without further ado, we welcome Bhante Dr. Chandima. Welcome, Bhante, and thank you very much for tonight's talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Brother Lim, for the introduction, and good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Sutta discussion day 56 and the seventh class of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, wherein which we will be discussing about another factor, I would say, sammākammanta, right action. So this is our topic for today. So we have regular members over here. So we have Lim, we have Kim, we have Kelvin over here, we have Yen, Adris, Wu, Lim, TC Lim, and we have Jacqueline, and a few others already let us know that they are busy with other things. So probably some others might be joining as time goes. Okay, so let's get started by saying sadhu 3 times and then reciting, or say paying homage to Buddha 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu sammā sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu sammā sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu sammā sambuddhassa. All right. So let's take a look at oh, we have Hazel too today with her mom.
Hello, Bhante. Good evening.
Good to see you.
Everyone.
Good to see you. So let's see the place. We're gonna see this. Okay, so this is the place. Now click on the post, go down there. Someone asked me why are the 5 ascetics too short, huh? It's like a just a photo. Download. All right. So if we scroll down up to, I guess, we done 17 sammākammanta. 17 means the numbers. Don't worry about the numbers. So this is middle part, Majjhima Paripada. Discuss about sammaditthi, sammāsankappa, sammāvāca. Today we are going to sammākammanta. So we have down the path, we have, I guess, 4 more factors to discuss. Each has, I would say, substantial bearing of our path. All right. So number 18, sammākammantu. So please take a look at all the spellings over here. Samma is right or wholesome. Kammantu. Kammantu. I think you can notice a very, I would say, a very familiar term over here, right? Kammantu has kamma, right? Kamma. Everybody knows this Pali word, Romanized letters, kamma. And kammantu. Does anybody like explaining to us what would you think about kammantu and kamma? Do these 2 words explain the same idea or maybe another idea? Anybody who wants to add anything about it? We have discussed about kamma a couple of times. It's a very, it is the most important concept about our sansaric journey, because we are reborn because of our kammas. And we are here also because of kammas. And then we will attain Nibbana also by ending our kammas, making future kammas, right? So it is very connected. It is the highly connected concept in Buddhism. You're going to understand the 4 Noble Truths because you want to stop the kamma journey, right? Sansaric journey. Sansara means kamma, nothing else. Is there anything else about sansara without kamma? It is not, because sansara means kamma, because you're creating kamma. So, does anybody distinguish or can you distinguish between kamma and kammanta? Would you think you can? Yeah. Can you unmute Sadhis?
Yes, I just guessing. Maybe it's the consequences of their actions.
Before that, let me type that in for many. This word and kammanta, so people can understand it. Okay, I think everybody can see now. Kamma and kammanta, right? Sadhis, please go ahead.
I'm just guessing. Maybe it's the consequences of your actions.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anybody else? Or is this your first time to see this kind of a perspective about kamma and kamma? So it's the very first time to think about even that these 2 words exist, not like one, kamma and kammanta.
Bhante, is this spelled with a O or A? Kammanta?
Doesn't matter. It becomes kammanto because of the declension, because in Pali they decline words, masculine, feminine, neutral words, they decline, like buddho, buddha, but we don't say buddho. Buddho is the correct singular form about the Buddha, but we say Buddha. The Buddha said. We don't say Buddho said like this. Right? It's like it doesn't matter unless you speak in Pali, then it matters. If you speak in Pali, then Buddho, then people know that you talk about one Buddha. But if you talk about many Buddhas, like 28 Buddhas, you say Buddha, 28 Buddhas, right? But here, don't worry about kammanto part, because that is how it is given in the sutta. But the what you call how do we say that? I would say if you look at the original word, you see kammanta, sammākammanta, right? So kamma, without further ado, I want to explain that. Now here, as Aditi said, it is not actually vipaka, because kamma means the action, intentional action or volitional action. Vipaka is the result of that particular action. So we have a particular word. Vipaka has a meaning where we understand by our actions which we have done with intention are getting mature every moment, right? Let's say someone is doing a dana today at the temple, but after a couple of hours, he or she is having some negative thoughts about it, about the dana for some reason. Then what could happen after that? Let's say today morning, he or she offered dana very well, and she or he had lots of very wholesome thoughts, looking at the incident, how the monk received the food and how he or she perceived about. But after maybe a couple of hours, maybe after she or he went home, maybe after a couple of months, for some reasons, his or her mind may get changed. Can our mind be changed anytime? Why not? Our mind, nobody can guarantee our mind. This is the problem, right? We talk about, I'm going to protect my mind, take care of my mind, shapen my mind. We talk about a lot of things. But when it comes to certain events, some people, most of us, cannot keep that particular mind. That's why there was an incident. One day, when one devotee was informed by the monk called Mahapantaka, Arhan Mahapantaka, that Mahapantaka or the Buddha, I can't exactly remember, that you need to change your date of dana. To change your date, because there is an urgent offering that is coming up. So please give that date to somebody. So the devotee, that particular devotee, told Arhan Mahapantaka or the Buddha, Bhante, it is okay, but on one condition. Can you guarantee that I will be having the same mind, same wholesome mind that I will be having on this particular day, which I will be having on the day that you are talking about? He said, no, I cannot guarantee that. So see, the kusala, the nature of the kusala can get changed all the time. That's why it is said, it is very important to keep our mind focused. Do not try to negotiate about it. Some people negotiate, then they get stuck. Do not negotiate your kusala mind. Akusala mind, just let it go. It's wicked, right? It's evil. But kusala mind, do not negotiate. Which temple should I go? How should I give this? What is the price about this thing? These are sometimes, I would say, obstructions for our kusala thought. So now the idea here is that kamma and vipaka. Kamma means the intentional action or action which has volition. Then vipaka. Vipaka means results or effects that were created based on the maturity over time, or maybe the ways and means how you created that particular kamma. Is kamma purely action, or is Buddhist kamma purely action or something else? I think I discussed that some times ago. Is Buddhist karma, or I would say Buddhist action, I would call Buddhist kamma, purely action-based or thought-based? How do we create kamma? Just by doing more activities, like, with our hand, with our legs? Is it how we make a kamma, or we make kamma purely from a very volitional point of view, like a volition? Mental. It is mental. So then, what about our actions, our hands, our walking, our sacrifice, our work? They all help that mind to bloom, expand, have a big heart about it, right? The big mind. But finally, it is your mental part that creates the karma, right? That is why sometimes even a very poor person create a very big good karma. A rich person sometimes cannot make it. Why? Rich person thinks it's always the stuff that he or she can offer to the Sangha or somebody else. Why? It is because of the mind. Because how expanded is that mind? How big is that mind? Even the entrepreneurs in today's time, they say the secret to my success or their success is I think big all the time. Think big. That is the next level, next generation. People don't think big. They think small and then think whether I can expand my thinking all the time. No, start thinking big. Even dana, sila, whatever. So kamma is purely action with intention or volition, I would say. Kammanta here means, it has couple ideas actually. Now, kammanta in Pali basically means business. I would say it's kammanta, business. Or I could say occupations also can be considered as kammanta. But in the context of the Noble Eightfold Path, kammanta specifically means action. Okay? It is action. That is how we basically understand. Kammanta means action. Now, can we go back to the starting point? What is the starting point, Dhamma folks? What is the starting point of our path over here? How do we get started? Right view. Sammaditthi.
Sammaditthi.
Sammaditthi is the starting point. And when you have sammaditthi, that means when you have the wholesome view that you look at everything through wholesome. You look at phenomenon, event, people, their characters, everything with right view. I personally don't like to say right, wholesome view. It's wholesome. But how it was actually normally considered is right view, but it's wholesome. Because you look at everything with wholesome aspects. So when you look at everything with wholesome aspects, you will never create greed, hatred, delusion. So when you have sammaditthi, I would say right view or wholesome view, then what will happen is that it is subsequent to another factor, that is sammākammanta. Then you are creating wholesome thoughts, right? You are creating wholesome thoughts or wholesome intentions because your perspective is right. So then on top of that, you are creating your thoughts. That is how you are creating sammākammanta. What will be the subsequent factor? That when you have a good perspective, I would say right perspective, then when you are creating thoughts, then what will happen immediately after that?
Right speech.
Your words are coming out now. So your words are coming out from those right intentions or right thoughts. So then, when your thoughts are right, then your speech is definitely going to be right or wholesome. There's no argument about it.
Then you do the wholesome action.
Now then you can't just keep your hands like this. You're going to do something. Right? You were like this up to this point. Okay, so I have my perspective, I'm thinking, now I talk. Now my hands, my legs, what I'm going to do with these things. Now what will happen is that then you are going to practice sammākammanta, right action. Now what are the actions that I'm going to do now with this sammākammanta? It is said that when someone comes down to this level, that person is going to practice 3 types of kammantas. He or she is not going to engage in killing. Not going to engage in killing. Okay, so No panatipata, right? In your own words. No panatipata to that person, because that person is very much sure about what he or she is doing with the other beings. So that person thinks it's a serious business that I'm having with other beings, because I'm careful whether I am going to kill, I'm going to stop even an organism of any being, right? Even an animal, right? And then not even that, that person further develops this action part, right? Then what will he or she do the next after not killing, and then he or she is
Stealing.
going to
Steal.
he or she is not going
No,
to steal or take what's not given from other people. Always thinks that this is beneath my dignity. This is not my dignity, right? So we can discuss separately all this stuff after. So he or she make sure that this is beneath my dignity, and this might be a small thing, but it's not my dignity. I should never grab that. Like, if I work for the government, it's government stuff. If I work for a private company, it's private company. It's not mine. So that thing is going to carve out in your mind, like, I'm not going to do that. Other people's stuff. Then third is that now having practice, or by practicing not killing, not stealing, he or she is going to make sure that I'm not going to destroy other people's lives in terms of breaking their peaceful, or I would say, relationships, marriages, and all that, right? Because it's other people's property, right? Break other people's lives, it's other people's property, which we are not supposed to do then, because everyone, regardless of whatever the reason, everyone loves their family. So make sure that I'm not going to touch, even though I have lots of hurried temptations, what you call fast rationalizations, right? Some people, they just actually go to these things because they have a lot of easy rationalization. They are very easy to rationalize. Oh, it doesn't matter, I'm going to go that, I'm going to do it, no problem. She's okay, I'm okay, why not, right? But thinking that this is an easy rationalization, this may come up with a lot of intention, but I'm not going to break someone's life, someone's peaceful life, right? So hurried, pressurized situations can always come down to us, but we know that where to take care of us, right? This is very interesting. All right, so sammākammanta basically means avoiding killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. Now let's apply the three-tiered situation, three-tiered context to sammākammanta. What are they? We always discuss that every path factor in the Noble Eightfold Path associates three other supportive factors. What are they? Samma-ditti, right view. Then it looks like that is fallen out of your knowledge.
Dhammacakkappavattana.
No. We were discussing about three factors, supportive factors that are helpful for fulfilling of all other factors. Let's say if you want to practice samma vacha, you need three other factors. If you want to practice samma sankappa, you need three other supportive factors. Unless otherwise, you are not able to practice them easily. So now let's take that to sammākammanta. What are they?
No stealing, no killing, no sexual.
No, not exactly. Now that is what we understand by sammākammanta. Now, when we are going to practice sammākammanta, we need other three factors to practice it. What are they? Somebody said here. Somebody says sila samadhi panya. Not exactly. Lim, what did you say?
sammāvāyamo,
Uh-huh.
and sammāsati,
Uh-huh.
and sammā.
Not exactly. You successfully answered to two factors. Now let me tell you how it works. Now we know what is sammākamma, right action. Right action refers to not killing, not stealing, not engaging in sexual misconduct. So if we do not have right view, sammaditthi, we are not able to distinguish right action from wrong action. Now, what is wrong action here? Killing is wrong action. Stealing is wrong action. Sexual misconduct is wrong action. Then how do I differentiate from wrong actions to right action? Some because of sammāditthi. Now that means in order to practice sammākammanta, just like the other factors, you need sammāditthi in the first place.
Yeah.
Does it make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, just because you differentiate right action from wrong action, can you easily practice sammākammanta? No, not exactly. Then you need effort. You should have effort to practice sammākammanta, right action. And you also need to have right effort. That means sammavayama, to what you call to reduce micca kammanta. Let's say now you know what is sammākammanta. Dumb folks, let's say you differentiate these two. But the problem is down the path, you don't have enough effort. Then what will happen to you? Let's say you work in a company, right? Say for instance, and you have enough time, you have enough freedom to take what is over there. Now you don't have enough effort. What will happen? You know that this is wrong. That means you have right view for sammavayama, but you don't have enough effort to practice sammavayama. Then what will happen? You easily pick what is over there beneath your dignity. That means you must have sammavayama, right effort, to practice sammākammanta. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Then are those two factors enough for you to practice sammavayama? Not exactly. How do you understand that this is the place I want to practice sammākammanta? That means you need mindfulness. You need to be mindful, lucid, mindful, and effortful. You need sammasati. Exactly. Right? Let's say you are working now. This it's not good to steal. Well, you also know that if you grab it, it is stealing. But you are not trying to understand properly with mindfulness that this is wrong at this point. This is wrong at this particular point. Then that means you will be going to then practice micca kammanta at that point. That is why you need mindfulness also. Now, please understand, mindfulness is not just sit down and think something. Mindfulness is such a vast quality, vast virtue. That's why the modern day meditation masters have to teach this. Like expansively. It is not like you sit down and I'm relaxed today, I'm so good today, I'm focused. It has to go beyond that because it is attached to the Noble Eightfold Path. Now, you know that sammākammanta also cannot be practiced without sammāditthi, sammavayama, and sammasati. Now, let me ask somebody of you to explain what I just explained to you. So, can someone explain to all of us how we learned the way how to practice in this instance, sammākammanta. Last Friday's instance, sammā-vāca, and then sammā-saṅkappa, sammā-diṭṭhi. So all are to be practiced with these three supportive practices. Can anybody explain to us how does I would say how should we practice sammākammanta?
Can I try, Bhante?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, that means if you want to practice sammākammanto, you have to have sammā-diṭṭhi. Then you must have sammā-vayano and
Now, why you need sammā-diṭṭhi?
so that you have the right view. So when you have the right view, you will have the
You can sort out. You can sort out wrong from the right. You sort out. Now,
So
why we need right view? There are wrong actions, killing, stealing, sexual. So they are wrong. So we can sort out, we can filter out
which is right, which is
from the wrong. That is why we need right view. And then how do you describe sammā-vāyama with regard to sammā-kamma?
Sammā-vaya is the right effort. It's effort.
Yes.
So if you
How
have
is it
a right
related to?
view, you have the right view, then you can put in the right effort.
Yes. For what?
To know the right from wrong.
Now you already know what is right and wrong here. At the right, you already distinguished. But now what do you want at this point with sammā-vāyama for sammā-kamma? And then you need to consistently put effort for that thinking, that understanding, right? Put effort, put more effort to continue that.
Then you have to use your mindfulness.
For what? Why do we need right mindfulness for sammā-kamma? How does it work?
Brother Sadiris, please help.
Yes.
I think you need the right effort to maintain the mindfulness. Will help you to maintain the effort, continually making the right effort. If you are not mindful, your right effort may be lost. You may do some other effort, not the right effort.
We can take that way also, because sammā sati and sammā vāyama are, I would say, basic technically basic triggers to all of us. But we cannot just say sammā vāyama is an offshoot of sammā sati, because when you figure out wrong from the right or right from the wrong, then at that point you need some effort to keep that mentality perspective, right? And then you put effort to keep that perspective mentality. Then when you come down to sati, then you specify, you observe that this is the right action and this is the wrong action. Then also you need effort to keep that. So you need right effort for the two things over here. Keeping that perspective along the way, and also keeping the mindfulness to catch any moment of my distractions. Yes, so it works for the two things actually.
Yeah.
Makes sense? Now we come to a very interesting part. What is now let's say pānātipāta, adinādāna, kāmesu miccāchāra, veramani. Pānātipāta, veramani. I refrain from killing. Veramani means refrain. Then adinādāna, veramani. That means I'm going to refrain from taking what's not given. Kāmesu miccāchāra, veramani. I refrain from misbehaving sexually. Right? That means the opposite has to be understood over here. So musāvāda is also a part of the Noble Eightfold Path, right? Where did we discuss the musavada part? Under which category of the factor that we discuss about the musavada? We discuss it under samma vacha. But we discussed musavada last week. Musavada, musavada, pisuna vacha, parusa vacha, sampattana. Musavada is a part of samma vacha. Then if you look at 5 precepts, right? Is there anything that we are left with in the 5 precepts that we did not still talk about? You all know what are they? Sura Mereya is not discussed here. Is Sura Mereya part of the Eightfold Noble Path? Not exactly, not on the surface value. Right? Do we see Sura Mereya in the path of the Eightfold Noble Path?
No.
We don't see it. Then, how do we understand? Why Sura Mereya is not in the path of the Noble Eightfold Path? Why?
It's included under sammākammanta. Right action.
Anybody else? Why Sura Mereya not taking intoxicants is not specifically given in the Noble Eightfold Path? T.C. Limol says here, it affects mind. That means it is implied. Sura Mereya is implied. Where? Under right mindfulness. That is why it was not specified. It is implied. Samma Sat. Now makes sense? Because somebody can argue, why my 5 precepts are not exactly in the Noble Eightfold Path? No, it does. It does, definitely. Because Panatipata, Adinadana, Kamisumichachara fall into sammākammanta. Musavada falls into samma vacha. Then Sura Mereya, it is implied under the samma sati. Because if you want to have right mindfulness, then you can't consume on intoxicants.
Alcohol.
Yeah, intoxicants, not even alcohol. It is much more. Let's say if you eat couple of rice plates, what will happen to you? Batta sammada, you are drowsy. And you then get into your car or van, you're gonna hit somebody on the road, right? Because you are too drowsy because of excessive food. All right. So now, as you can see, sammākammanta is basically then about sila, right? Is it a part of the sila?
Yes.
Let's go and see again our what we call our Noble Eightfold Path poster. I can show you then what it is. Right. We'll share the screen. So here, this one. Now, please carefully pay attention to this poster one more time. You can pay attention to 100 times because you have it. Now we are here, right? Right action. See, right view, right effort, right mind. Samma ditti, samma vayama, samma sati, they are supportive to all 8 factors, you see? All 8 factors. Now, can you see the right side over here? From the picture side, the post virtue. That means right speech, samma vacha, sammākammanta, samma ājiva. They are part of the virtue side. What is virtue? Sila. Sila. It's sila. It's about sila. So even next Friday we will be discussing samma ājiva. It's also part of the sila. Only when we discuss samma vayama, we get into samadhi part. Now you see, this is a part of the sila part. Now I have to ask you something. What is the question like? Question is this. Does sila mean is long I-L-A? Does sila mean morality or whatever virtue mean? Not, I would say, the absence of the precepts. Sorry, the absence of the breaking of the precept. Let's say if you don't do panatipata, if you don't do adinadana, if you don't do kamasumachachara, are you, just by doing that, are you going to be a person of morality or sila? I should be, right? Because I don't kill, I don't steal, I don't misbehave sexually. So then, do I have the sila then at that point?
No, not possible. It can be
Great.
in your mind.
That is where I'm trying to get at. Interesting. Yeah. You have any more thoughts, Sadhris? Okay. What are your answers, Dhamma folks? Just by not doing, not breaking the 3 precepts, I would say any precept, are you going to be a sila person, virtuous or moral? This is what we hear, right? This is what we hear from many talks. If you don't kill, if you don't steal, if you don't misbehave, if you don't lie, if you don't take intoxicants, just not by doing these 5 are you going to be the sila person. T.C. Lim said no. Others?
You are quite virtuous. A person who don't do these 3 things can be considered quite virtuous.
Can be considered.
Can be considered.
But general idea is that when someone is not killing, when someone is not stealing, when someone is not sexually misbehaving, when someone is not lying, when someone is not taking intoxicant, that person is generally regarded, considered as a sila person, silava person. Yeah, Sadhris?
Yeah, even though it can be a nice person by not doing the actions, but by speaking and the intention of creating problems to others, and deep inside you want to take revenge, all that, it doesn't make you completely a good person. You have to control all that too.
Okay. Just to get things a little more lucid, clear, I'm going to take an example. This example is about an infant, baby. A baby does not kill, does not steal, does not sexually misbehave, does not lie, does not take intoxicant. So is baby going to be a sila person? Silava, moral, virtuous?
Yes, one. The baby is very virtuous. A baby is
The
very
way
virtuous.
we look at it, because we don't see. Baby doesn't kill, baby doesn't steal, baby doesn't misbehave. He or she does have no idea about it. No lying, no intoxicant. Just because of that, is baby going to be a virtuous person? No, not exactly.
At the time he's a baby, he's a virtuous one. Maybe he grow up and become something. At the point of time when he was a baby, he doesn't do all these things.
Yes.
He's just living his virtuous. At the time he's innocent.
Yes,
So,
that is how we look at it. No, we take the incident. Now there is someone here, regardless of the age, the growth or whatever, this person does not break, whether he knows or not. So sila is not mere absence of the precept. What you call the wrong side of the precept. Sila is intentional absence of the wrong side of the precept. Intentional absence of the wrong side of the precept. Let's say, just because you are not killing, you are not going to be exactly, perfectly sila. It is better than not killing. It is better than killing, right? because you are not killing actually, but you should have the proper thoughts. Why I am not killing? I have to take care of all these beings, right? That has to be in my mind all the time. Why I am not killing? Because I have to protect. Everybody wants to live, so that mentality has to be in my mind and my heart, right? Not even my mind, my heart, right? Our mind can go haywire, but my heart has to be very strong about this moral stuff. Okay? Like people don't even do a lot of good things just by the mind, right? They do it the heart. They say, my heart is big, my mind can go go crazy, but my heart, I have a big heart about somebody, my practice, right? So it's about intentional morality, I would say. Intentional, it's being intentionally moral. That is what we understand by the seal. Now, Buddhism is not a set of commandments, isn't it?
Yeah.
There are religions where we understand that there are commandments. It's good. It's good for those people, and we have to appreciate, we have to respect. But Buddhism, we don't have commandments. Buddhism always teaches us to look at why you're doing this, why you are avoiding killing, why you are avoiding the stealing part, why you are avoiding the sexual misconduct, why you are avoiding the lying part. You can lie, but why you avoid? Why? For what? What reason? Why you are avoiding intoxication? This why question about why I'm not doing such. When I have so many opportunities, I can break whatever I want, but I'm not. Why? That is the sila. Real sila is that, not just, hey, you know what? I'm not killing anybody. I'm not stealing. Oh, I'm sila, right? I'm sila. It's not sila in the Noble Eightfold Path, because it has to come with the real intentions, which is supported by the right view action. Now let's take one example. As I said early, killing part. Now we are supposed to take care of every being, right? How do we learn that? Where do we learn it? That we need to take care of each living being. Any example from the suttas? Brainstorm. But knowledge about the readings of the suttas, right? Metta Sutta, Karaniya Metta Sutta. How do we understand it? In the Metta Sutta, how do we know? How do we practice the not killing part? Let's take one example. Digha vai mahantava majjima rasaka nukatula. One example. Digha vai, the long animals. Mahantava, large animals. Okay? Majjima, medium-sized animal. Rasakanuka, right? Maybe short ones, right? Not even them. What are the other measurements that we have in order to understand different beings? Even the animals, even the beings who are terrified, right? Visible, invisible. Not even these animals that are even here, even the beings who are going to be born, we call them sambhave siva. Sambhave siva means beings who are going to be reborn. Some people call them gandhabdas, but I mean, those beings who are even going to be reborn, our metta has to extend everywhere, cross everywhere, right? That should be the perfect metta, right? So now this is why do we have to practice metta? In order to understand that we are supposed to take care of all living beings as much as we can. Okay, so that great mentality can really take us into sammākammanta, right? What about Adinadana part in terms of the sammākammanta? Now, possessions of beings. Do we have possessions, Dhamma folks? Yeah, we do, right? Real estate, money, jewelry. You call your son, daughter, or my esteemed properties, you know. I want to see them all the time. I want to talk to them. What else? To some people, education, qualifications, some others, everything. Everything can be a possession. How about animals? Do animals have possessions? Not exactly, right? Do they have possessions?
No.
Do they say that this is my place? But they do in their own ways, but they don't claim. So just because they don't claim that this is my property, do we have a right to deprive of their natural habitats? Let's say elephant. In Sri Lanka, we have a big problem about elephants. People just, people who politically motivated stuff have created places, households for people down the path of the elephants. And then elephants, they pulverize everything. They are crazy because that is their road, right? And not even here, I mean, many places, right? Because we don't see that the habitats for the animals are going to be, you know, always protected. But there are really good human beings, organizations, NGOs, some governments, but still, some people don't understand, right? So just because the animals do not have possessions, we should understand that we cannot deprive of their natural habitats. That is for the animals. What else? Now I said about a pen. Let's say you work in a company, in a government office or wherever, right? You might think that there's a pen. I take the very least vulnerable piece of items here, right? I mean, somebody might think that I'm going to grab this pen, but you don't need a pen that bad, you know. You can have a pen. You can afford that, right? Because it's beneath your dignity if you want to grab that pen. Maybe a paper, maybe a photocopy, maybe a printout, maybe a fax, maybe a scanning, right? Since we understand this kind of mentality, you always understand that you are not going to trespass, enter into other people's stuff. You are always making sure that you are not gonna grab anybody's ungiven stuff. Some people maintain, okay, there is no owner, right? So I can grab it, right? But as Buddhists, we are supposed to keep our mentality because our great mentality of not grabbing anybody's stuff, though there is an owner or not, is very important. That really causes us to be a very good person in terms of Adinadana. I remember somebody asked me a long time ago. He doesn't have a laptop back in Canada, and he does go to the library, public library, and then he's normally those people can get 2 hours, 1 hour free internet surfing, like public stuff. But he asked me, like, every time I'm in the internet computer section, like while I'm checking my emails and replying, I get to see the other guy next to me, you know, what he's doing, right? Like this. So is that considered a form of stealing because I'm looking at what he's doing? So that was a question that came to me. I said, well, I mean, you don't need to look at it because he's doing or she's doing whatever his business. You do whatever you need. Because a lot of problems arise when we're going to be bothered about other people's stuff, right? Then because we're going to apply meaning to their actions unnecessary, unless it is not safe to other people. If it is safe, then we should not be worried about it, you know, because we are not gossiping, we are not doing anything. So anyways, we should not trespass into other people's stuff. Also, you have no business with unfinished transactions. So you can't claim that this is myself, because you have to take a very good stand about Adinadana. Adinadana is such a very good Adinadana Veramani is such a good mentality. So if you are somebody who is like that, everybody trusts you pretty much, especially the possession side. Not even you expect liking. I mean, more than that, you are going on your path without any hassle, because that is very important. We have to be honest to ourselves if we really want to continue our path. And then Kamesa Michachara. Now, this is an interesting intersection about our, sammākammanta, right action. Now, sammākammanta's last perspective, aspect of sammākammanta is that avoidance of the sexual misconduct. Now, when we talk about the sexual misconduct, it is very important to understand that there are certainly consequences for us if we are really letting fast rationalizations to work, hurried situations to work, pressurized situations to work. Because when we are hurried, when we are pressurized, when we are so fast, we sometimes do not practice our mindfulness, practice our right view aspect, right view, samadhi. So that what will happen is that we are easily bothered by things that are happening, that are probably giving us some easy access, right? So the Buddha says that we should never break a peaceful relationship between two people, because peaceful relationship is such a very valuable thing that we always have to appreciate, right? Just because everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta, we cannot simply break someone's relationships, right? It has consequences. Plus, it's other people's property. So keeping that in mind, we can work on the Kamesa Michachara part too. But when you say Michachara, there is Samma part too, right? Because you are not engaging in sexual misconduct, but as a layperson, you can engage in sexual conduct, right? So there are your opportunities on your side, but within a very moral aspect. All right, Dhammacakkappavattana. So what we discussed today is sammākammanta. Sammākammanta is not simple action, right action. I said this is connected to sila. Okay, sila is not the mere absence of some bad actions. Sila should be the intentional avoidance of the wrong aspects of the virtues, right? Intentional morality. So you have to be intentional why you are not fulfilling, why you are not doing such. Okay, any questions? Let's go to the discussion part so we can discuss more. I think you may have a lot of questions about this because I brought up the Panchasila part, 5 precepts. So especially 5 precepts, in order for you to practice 5 precepts, you have to start with intentional, I would say, sammākammanta part, because other than that, the mere absence will not make you that complete sila person, right? Sammākammanta. Yeah, Sadris.
Yeah, like what you say about a baby doesn't do any sila, never break any sila, is because they don't have a chance. You see, when they grow up, when they got a chance, they will sure do that.
Yes.
So
yes.
they have to control it. They have to control it. They have to
No.
understand why they are not doing it.
No, Mr. Sajiris. Even if grows up, he may not going to do it. If he is brought up as a moral person, he may not do it. Even when he understands it, we cannot assume that this baby is going to grow up to be a rascal. doing all the bad things. He could have been growing up with very good influence, maybe from
Yeah.
the parents, so he will not do it also. We cannot assume that, brother. Sorry for saying that.
It can go in two ways. So
Two ways.
I'm not worried about the after time of a baby. Now, actually, you don't get the point. The point here is that if you
At the
take
time of the
a
baby.
baby from the baby time, don't go to the baby's young time or old time,
Old.
right? Take only the baby time. When there is a baby is also not killing, not stealing, for whatever the reason. So I'm trying to say that just because someone is merely absent from not doing these things, that does not simply say that person is a sila. So, but later on, baby will, interact with the society. He may be a good person or a bad person, whatever.
Yes.
That is the after part. So the point here is that, the point is that practicing sila to many people is that the mere absence of the wrong side of the precepts, and that is not actually correct according to the Eightfold Noble Path. Not even the Eightfold Noble Path. Actually, sila comes under the Eightfold Noble Path. It is not correct. Because why it is not correct? If you don't have the proper intentions of why I am not doing it, why I am doing this, then you are not going to complete your sila path. Actually, sila has to transcend, advance into samadhi and then panya, right? That is why some people think I am having the perfect sila, because they don't have the intention, proper intention about that. Now, in the Sabbasava Sutta, I want to add this one too, which is going to be our, I guess, going to be our next sutta of discussion after Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Buddha clearly says, Janato va passato va asavanang kayang vada. Which is pretty interesting. Janato va passato va. Janato passato. I am declaring the elimination of the kilesa, keles in Sinhala we call them defilements, by knowing and by seeing. That part has to be added here. Why do we want to add it here? Now, for most of us, if you look at, let's say you lie today for some reason, whatever the reason caused you to lie. Actually, you know lying is bad. So you are so embarrassed for some reason. Why people are simply going to lie or do other bad things? Because although they have janato part, they know, but they don't have the passato part. Passato part means, do I see my lying or the situation of lying in this particular scenario, in this particular situation? That is what a lot of people miss out on. Passato part. Buddha says all the time, you cannot eliminate, you cannot get rid of asavas, defilements, if you don't have both janato part and passato part. But for many of us, we only have janato part, right? We know, we just know only. But do we have the passato? That means, are we able to really see my bad in that particular event? Can I just overcome my whatever the bad things I'm going to do in that particular situation comes from another good mentality, another higher mentality. So if you have that mentality, you can stop in time, not just worry after. So sila is not the mere absence. Sila is the intentional abstinence, intentional avoiding of the wrong side of the precept, because 3 of the 5 precepts are mentioned regarding the sammākammanta. That is why we discuss about the sila part. So do not ever end up in sila, but keep your sila always with intentional part, then proceed on your way. Because when you have the sammākammanta, then the immediate subsequent factor that you are trying to get in is samma ajiva. Are you getting into ways of living? Could be a layperson's life, it could be a monk life. The Buddha never said that you should do this job and this job according to Samma Ajiva next week, right? What we are going to discuss. Buddha said, whatever job you are doing, regardless of a monk or layperson, you should never practice these different ways to earn money or just to live from other people. We discussed that next week. But today, we have to understand the Sila takes you to earn, Sila takes you to your living after that, right? So that will be the end of your Sila part. So today, what we discuss is that from right perspective, right view, we will be having right intentions. When we have right intentions, because of the right view, then we are going to create right speech. Our speech is going to be very wholesome because that speech comes from the right view. Whenever somebody is going to talk very bad stuff, then you have to understand that person does not have right view. Someone who has right view will never talk such non-virtuous stuff because he or she understands his or her words. He or she minds about their words. Have you ever heard some people say that I don't mind my language? Have you ever heard some people? I don't care my language. I just say what I want to say. Are those people never understand right view? Because if such people understand right view, they never say that I really mind my language. Because if I don't mind my language, my vitakka vicharas, because we said my words come from vitakka vichara. Vitakka vichara, they are mental stuff. My vitakka vichara are drawn into samadhi. Such people don't have it. Either they know it, janato, but they don't passato. They don't see them in the right instances. That is the other problem. They know it, but they don't understand. They don't figure it out in the right situation, right? Okay. Any other questions? Sita, how are you? Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry, Bhante, for coming late because I just reached home.
Okay, great. So we were discussing about sammākammanta, the right action. Okay. Yeah, anybody else? You have any questions about sammākammanta or sammāvāca? And now I think we can take the question from Kelvin about the Buddha statue, probably after this. Yen has a question. Yeah, Yen.
Bhante, can you repeat the sila part when you say practicing sila is the intentional avoiding of the wrong? I didn't catch the last part.
Okay. Can I type for you?
Yes, please.
Easy, yeah?
Yes, please.
Intentional. I'm sorry if I could not type in all the time. So if you think that you need something, please tell me. I'm going to write definite typing. Okay. Yeah. Intentional avoidance of the wrong sides of 5 precepts. That means killing, because we are supposed not to kill. But killing, stealing, sexual misbehaving, lying, and taking intoxicant. These are the wrong sides of the precept, because precepts are good stuff. So for many people, it is just the avoidance. Just the avoidance. But according to the Noble Eightfold Path, it is the intentional avoidance, because you know that why I am not doing this. That has to come to your mind all the time. That is, so sila is not anymore just the mere absence of the stuff, right? Someone might say, you know what? I don't kill. I don't steal. How do I know? Because you're creating it from your mind. Can we kill someone in our mind? Can we or can we not? Can we kill somebody in our mind? Yes. Why we can? You look at the arahant, the first virtue of the Buddha. Itipiso arahang samma sambuddho vichacharana sampanno, etc. Arahang, one interpretation of arahang is that the Buddha does not make bad karma even in where? Even secretly. Even in the secret mind. Now we only see people who make bad karma from outside door. Oh, only when they talk about that, I'm going to do this and that. But Buddha even does not. Of course, he's not. But when we understand the Buddha's mentality, he asks us that, he says that he's not even secretly killing anybody, right? Sometimes more people are killing other folks in mind, and then after some time they fix their mind. Now I'm not going to kill them. It's a mental struggle. Yesterday I killed that, today no, I'm not going to kill that person. So that's the secret killing in their mind. The Buddha says this is a problem. So people can. So that means you see that person not killing anybody, but he himself killed. She herself killed herself in their mind. That is why the Buddha said, taking care of your precept. In order you want to be a sila person, it is not the mere absence of the wrong side of the fight. It is the intentional avoidance. You have your thoughts about it, because kamma is not the physical action. Kamma is the intentional action of anything. Kelvin, can we go to the Yen, you have any more questions about it? Is it clear to you? Can you unmute? Yeah.
There is another question.
Yeah.
When you mentioned about stealing, even though it's like a mere pen that was just lying around the table, if we take that, it's also considered stealing.
With the stealing mind.
Oh, I see. Okay. What about
let's say the pen is
flowers on the side of the road, and then we just pick the flowers?
Yeah, that's the problem, because
Yeah.
now the problem is whether there is an owner or there is no owner. People say no owner, probably somebody missed it, somebody dropped it, so nobody's gonna take it. But that is why the modern cultures, they have a lost and found box. We normally grab it and give it to the lost and found box. But other than that, actually we are not trying. Somebody might, self-argue, okay, if I'm not gonna get it, somebody's gonna get it, because we are creating some secret evil pleasures within us. You know what I mean? Kind of evil pleasures. So if we really want to keep our good intentions about that particular activity, either we grab it to give it to the lost and found. Let's say it is an expensive watch, maybe a book, maybe a purse, wallet, something else, a handphone, right? So just leaving it there, maybe a thief can go and steal it from there, right? So you are pretty concerned about the pain of the owner. You're going to grab it and give it to somebody. But if you think it is not that expensive, it is not that something, and then probably there may be a kind of a hassle that will happen if I'm going to get it, just leave it. Don't bother. Because your non-stealing mind is much better than grabbing that trivial pen. You know what I mean? Because it is not the object, actually. It is your mind. How you continue your non-stealing mind. If you trouble that mind, if you bother that mind, more things can happen. Yes.
I get it. Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah, Kelvin, let's go to the Kelvin's question first and then come to Dihan. Yeah. What was the question you asked me at the beginning, which I could not answer in time?
No, it's not. It's
It was
actually...
me. It was me that asked, because, are you there?
Yes.
I can't see you.
Sorry about that.
No, I was asking, I said that monks are all bald, right? Right? Bald. But
you're asking to make sure from me. Are they? Well, I mean, There
No,
are
no.
monks.
Then
They are made, well, yes.
the Buddha in a lot of pictures, he has hair, you know. He has hair. So I'm just wondering that why he make the monks bald, but he himself has hair. That was my question. So I was debating with Kevin. Then he told me something about it, some image and things like that.
Yeah.
People just
Yeah.
draw, but actually, in actual fact, he hasn't got any hair.
Yeah, this is the answer. Now, if you can look at the Mauryan dynasty, I think this is around 230-ish time. Okay, I would say the Mauryan dynasty, the Ashoka's time, nearly Ashoka's time, which was ended by somebody like a marshal after a couple centuries after him. By this time, India and Bactria and Greek. The Bactria is the northern Afghanistan, near Uzbekistan area. This area called Bactria, and then the borderline of the Europe is the Greek Empire. They were very close friends. Okay, if you can look at the Dhammacakkappavattana's 9 missionaries, those missionaries went to what you call Gandhara. Gandhara means the present Pakistan, and Yona Desha. Yona means Greece. It's the modern day Greece. And Tambapani is Sri Lanka. And Suvarnabhumi is the Malay Peninsula, the whole Malay Peninsula, including Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia. So the missionaries went. So the thing was that as time passes by, the main 2 traditions that created, which created the Buddha statues were started. We call them Gandhara style and Mathura style. Okay, so Mathura, to my understanding, comes from Kashmir area. Gandhara, of course, modern day, what you call Pakistan, Pakistan area. So these two traditions based on 2 different countries, they are the people who are behind the sculpturing of the Buddha statue, the present day Buddha statue. All right. Now you see differences about the Buddha statue, in particular the hair part, the head part, hair part actually. So in the text, in the Vinaya, we see monks. Yeah, that is one thing, the crown. In the Vinaya, we see that he asks monks not to grow your hair more than 2 inches. Now, as you exactly rationalize, how come he has then like a very, I would say, long type of hair? It is because the sculptures from the Gandhara and Mathura, which were backed up, influenced by the Greek tradition. At that time in Greece, the Greek deities, the gods, they were very famous gods sculptured by Greek sculptors. So when the people in the Gandhara and Mathura were crafting or sculpturing the Buddha statues, they thought if we simply going to, this is my assumption and some backup information, we simply showing the Buddha with a bald head, that might not add a lot of weight to that. If you see a bald-headed somebody with a meditative posture, you don't see that there's something. So they took the head part from some of the goddesses from Greek. Athena, I think it's Athena goddess. So they took that part in order to show that Buddha is somebody over here. But it is textually incorrect. That's the problem. As you said, it's textually incorrect. But sculpture-wise, it is very nice because you see somebody like this and you see, oh, this is Buddha, right? And but other than that, other characteristics were okay, especially his, because I think the sculpturists were trying so much to imitate the suttas like Lakkana Sutta, Digha Nikaya, which says the Buddha's 32 great characteristics and 80 other minor characteristics. But why he got that kind of a long hair is not a problem from the Buddhist tradition. It is I cannot say it's a problem, it's an addition that was added because of the We call it Greco-Buddhism, G-R-E. Let me type that for you. Buddhism has different types in the development. We call it this one, Greco-Buddhism. Now, Greco-Buddhism means Buddhism was influenced by the Greek sculpturism. So that is why we call it Greco-Buddhism. So during the Greco-Buddhism, the Buddha statues were mostly sculptured. That is why there is something like that. So don't worry about it, because you know what it is. And plus, asking monks to shave the hair, and then he himself not doing that could be a very, if you rationalize, it's going to be like a senseless activity, but it is not, right?
Thank you, Bhante.
Does it make sense to all of you? Yeah, Dehan?
Bhante, yeah, then actually when we are taking this hair, we have the 10 or 12 attalas. That means somebody having long hair, then we have to comb and wash like that. According to Buddha, then is it from a Buddha, or this what you call the Vinaya Pitaka is coming, that the attala thing?
No. I don't think any of them are originally supposed to have the Buddha's hair. I think when the Greco-Buddhism people added this to their the first attempts of creating the sculpture stuff, they simply wanted to change the Buddha as a great person, because you know what? Nobody has seen a real Buddha except one person. Can you guess who is that? That's the important thing. Who is that? Nobody has seen the real Buddha by this time, up to this point. Now, if you look at the time the Buddha statues were actually created, there are some Attakathas where we see King Kosala made a Buddha statue from the sandal wood, but it's not very confirmed. But it is said Vasavatti Mara, who is the head god, who is the owner of the whole universe, Vasavatti Mara, has seen the Buddha, because there's a story where a monk was meditating deeply somewhere. So Vasavatti Mara was troubled by this. So normally those who meditate little heavily, Maras are normally attacking such people, it is said, or whatever the ways. He doesn't like people get out of the samsara. So he came in. He said, stop this meditation. This is really bad. You can't get out of me. Enjoy your pleasures. He said, okay, I will stop it on one condition. Okay, this is one condition. Have you seen the Gautama Buddha? Shakyamuni? Yes, not even I saw him. I had the great battles with him. He was explaining what happened. Okay, can you show the Buddha? You can just trance into the Buddha's body. Buddha had passed away by that time, actually. The monk cannot see him. So the monk asked, can you show me the real Buddha becoming? Because I know the gods in the Paranimita Vasavatti and the Nimmanrati, they can become anybody. They can become anybody. They can create anybody's body, those of them deceased or living now. He said, a simple thing. Don't worry, I'll show you. But stop the meditation. Said, okay. He just trans into the Buddha. The monk just attained the Arahanthood. He became an Arahant. Then he, got out of that trance. You became an Arahant. And he was really blaming the monk at that point. So he's the only person who knows the real, exact, the physique of the Shakyamuni Buddha. Because the real Shakyamuni Buddha should not only be a relaxing, peaceful person, he should be somebody who can give us the message of the Four Noble Truths. This is what I understand. So don't worry, don't blame anybody or any Buddha statue that we have now, because this is what has been coming down to us. But the real Buddha should be something else, especially the physique, not the body, actually, the head part should be definitely a different person. because it is, of course, no doubt that you can find some coins, some other archaeological remains in the 3rd century, 2nd century, but the Buddha lived 600 years back. So nobody can say that we saw the Buddha that way, unless an Arahant saw him. Exactly somebody like Vasavatti Mara. Yeah, that's the answer. That's why see that. Dihan, is it that?
Actually, Bhante, then I have heard that anybody for having a long hair, then they are having difficulties for this 10 thing. That's the thing I asked in Dhamma where it's come.
Anybody who has different layers of the hair,
then actually they have to daily wash and
yes, definitely.
No. Then
Yes.
I have heard that from the Buddhism, right? Then I think 10 or 12 these things they have to every practice. I'm asking, is it from which area?
10, 12 things like Vinaya stuff, probably Vinaya. Yeah, probably Vinaya. Not very important though, because it may be important for a monk, but for you, for somebody like lay people, I think I think people think differently nowadays. If you talk about the modern concepts like having a long hair, become a playboy, right? I mean, there are different things happening. I mean, but for us, I think it is better to, how to keep our hair, because hygiene is very important. Because hygiene helps you to stay focused on the Dhamma. Right now, you might think, then what about an ascetic in the Himalayas? And they won't actually cut their hair. The Jains, they don't cut their hair, but they have their own reasons. The ascetics don't want to attain Nibbana. They just want to have the samadhi, Miccha Samadhi, attaining only the jhanas. We call it Miccha Samadhi. Only if you advance from 4th jhana into the Vipassana, we call it Samma Samadhi, right? So they may have their own reasons. As a Buddhist, I think it's better to have a very, comfortable, healthy lifestyle, even in terms of how you clip your nails, have them short, easy for you to maintain, and then you are not trying to, have them. Actually, if you have a long hair, then you are also trying to, why did the Buddha ask monks to cut their hair, shave their hair? It's just to,
Simple.
the simplicity, because people might do different things with hair, right? Simplicity. But nowadays there are different traditions too, like being bald also a tradition. It's also a new style, right? In the modern pop culture, right? I mean, it can go in different ways, but having always a very clean body, always helpful for us to practice, stay, live comfortably. So I think that is what the Buddha may have expected. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We'll take one more minute. If not, we
Bhante,
don't. Yeah.
I heard some, I don't know, maybe it's a make-up story. They say the Buddha's hair, the first time after he cut it off when he crossed the river, from there the hair just stays that way, it doesn't grow anymore.
Well, because we don't have a proper ability to properly estimate the Buddha's power, or we cannot say yes or no. Maybe yes, maybe no. But to my understanding, his outer appearance is a very normal human appearance. Why do I say like that? Now, we cannot notice that too. Let's say if somebody's hair is not growing, it is not growing at all. But the Buddha's outer appearance was very normal, like any other human. Remember the story of the Mahakāshyapa, Arahant Mahakāshyapa. Have you ever studied about him? Arahant Mahakāshyapa and Buddha, they were alike. Their physical bodies are very much similar, right? But the only difference was the height. Buddha was taller than him, definitely. So there was a devotee, female upasika, who was giving dana, pindapata every day for Arahant Mahakāshyapa. So she's very much respecting, liking this monk. And then when she's offering dana, she's saying, this is my son coming, and I'm offering every day, every lunch. But one day, the Buddha happened to go for the pindapata on this path, on this road. She misunderstood, right? She was a normal devotee, right? Then she thought to herself, and she said some dear words like any other day. She offered the dana. Then after Buddha left, then she sees exactly similar monk is coming, probably after a couple meters. And then she's, oh, I misunderstood. So she ran to the Buddha. She doesn't know who that monk is. Because Buddha cannot be noticeable. This is the reason. She went, she said to the Buddha, Bhante, she doesn't know this is Buddha. I think I gave you the dana I prepared for the other monk. So can I take that food? So she took all the food from the Buddha's bowl. The Buddha gave the bowl and then offered it to the Mahakāshyapa. Arahant Mahakāshyapa looked up. He's the Buddha. That is the day he determined, I'm not going to stay in the urban setup again. I'm going to go back to the forest. He left immediately because very remorseful about what happened. Right? He did not come back. I'm going to come back when the Buddha passed away. Now, this incident shows us Buddha was any other normal human being, normal monk. He didn't have those circular line like you see in the pageants in the temples. Right? You could see that circular pageant, oh, this is the Buddha. Well, I mean, it's good. You can show to your children, this is the Buddha who has, those auras, but he did not have those auras in his normal life. So the people, sorry?
So he means he's actually also bald.
Yeah, because Arahant Mahakāshyapa and Buddha did not have any difference. That's why she got misunderstood. If he had some hair, then definitely she must have not been misunderstood. But don't think that these sculpturists did a bad thing. To my understanding, what they are doing is that they are showing people this particular monk is a different monk. He is the Buddha. Like, let's say, how do we teach children about Buddhism nowadays? That is one. So also, what do you think about Arahant Mahamoggallana being painted in the blue color? Is it a necessary thing? I don't think he has the blue color. He didn't have the blue color in his skin. He passed away. When he was a soldier, he passed away. How come he got the blue color? Now the sculptors say, no, this is not the normal Mahis Moggallana. See, he was assaulted by the thieves. He was brutally murdered by the thieves in the temple. But he didn't have blue skin color. But the sculptors made it blue to figure out this is Arahant Mahamoggallana. Now you understand why these things, just to figure out, show the history. So I'm not saying it is bad. It is a timely need, but the truth can be far away. Find it out. That is why we are doing these discussions.
Brother Sadiris, just now you mentioned about after he cut his hair right near the river and then the hair never grow. But I think it's not cool, because you see in a lot of pictures, when he sits under the tree, his hair very long. It grew even longer. And then it became
that is one version. About the Buddha's life, there are a lot of people who are making different thoughts, different ideas. So one of the it is not even Sadhri's idea. It is a long-held idea too, because of the Buddha's power. The hair did not grow. So the Buddha's life is associated with a lot of stories. So we have to read about his life from some suttas actually. That is better than just picking up from different ideas right away, So I think he's a normal person. If his hair did not grow up, definitely there's going to be a problem, because we understand that he had a lot of attendant monks. So then that means attendant monks didn't have any work for him. Ananda, Chunda, a lot of monks were attendants to him. That means, why did he keep attendants? Upattayaka monks, because he was a normal person. He got sick, right? But after some time, Buddha was made to become an extraordinary person out of these monks. So people had to add auras, secular stuff, different other views. That is how we have to understand. So if you want to understand the proper Theravada view, you need to read some suttas like Arya Pariyesana Sutta. I can type it for you. Arya Pariyesana Sutta. Lakkana Sutta is about his body. So good one. Yeah.
Which you are not,
Share.
right, Bhante? This is
Sorry?
not in your, this one not in your topic.
No. This I actually added because of what you asked from Kelvin today. So yeah. So if you really want to know what the Theravada view is about the Buddha's outer appearance, and I think it's timely because it's about the Vesak time too. Please read them.
Bhante, the
Yes.
Lakkana Sutta describe the Buddha's characteristic is not normal.
Yes, that is also true.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that we don't need to rely on any, because we are rationalized. Like now we are rationalized. I think our rationalizing has to be very well grounded, right? That is why we did not believe the hair part. But if you look at the 32 physical characteristics, we don't know whether there are some additions, but basically we can understand these 32.
Because
like for example,
Bhante mentioned that when the Buddha stands straight, his hand is so long that it can touch the ground.
did I say so?
The Lakkana Sutta.
Lakkana Sutta says his fingers are long, his legs are long, not compared to like a gigantic, like a giant. Yeah. Well, I think it's a very different. We have to devote a different discussion for that limb, because we cannot just grope it, because otherwise we will create some different ideas about it. I think that sutta has some context, which we need to really read it and then to understand it. We're not saying everything is true, because we rationalize definitely, but there may be areas which we don't understand because of our normal mind. We have to keep that in mind too, because our mind is not developed to understand some stuff, right? Because our mind has not even developed into Sakadagami and Anagami level. So how are we gonna think about a Buddha, right? It's pretty, but on the surface level, there are some questions. How are these going to be worked, right? So that part we have to read more. Probably we have to, maybe we have to learn some commentaries too to understand, because the text has been coming in oral traditions. We don't know, some parts were lost during the oral transmission. We don't know. Also, we know that the present Tripitaka was an effort which was made by the Arahants, 500 Arahants after the first council. So they decided what to keep, what not to keep. So we cannot have a proper idea, rather than we try to stitch our Dhamma path. So some of the things like this seem to be very, how to say, surprising, miraculous. On one hand, it could be the reason because our mind is not very developed to understand them. On the other hand, this could be overemphasis too. We never know. So we have to always keep these two sections, Because what is important is not whether Buddha was very tall or short, or whether his hands are long or not, but whether we can end our suffering, our dukkha. We know that. I mean, but if somebody is going to go to each sutta, there may be some stuff like this. There may be other reasons too. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think we're going to transfer merits at this point. Yeah. May all the good karmas that we've been accumulating today be transferred to all the departed relatives, passed away in the name of all of us. If the departed people were already reborn in a place of discomfort, pain, may they be able to overcome their pain and suffering. If they are already reborn in a better place, Kama Sugati, may they be able to develop, I would say, enhance their life, and in particular, may they be able to learn more Dhamma and then apply more Dhamma and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idammi ñāti
Nam
nanto
hotu.
sukita huntu ñātayu. Idammi ñāti nanhotu sukita huntu ñātayu. Idammi ñāti nanhotu sukita huntu ñātayu. May all the good karmas be shared by all the Devas, Nagas, and Mahitikas. May Devas, Nagas, and Mahitikas be well and happy. May they also protect and bless all of you, your family members, your parents, your siblings, your husband, your wife, your children, everybody, even your grandkids, everybody. And also the reverend monks in the temples and everybody who could join today, who could not join today for different reasons. For good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety. May Deva Naga Mahidika finally attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu,
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Ettavatacha ammihi sambhatang punya sampradang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha ammihi sambhatang punya sampradang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampradang sabbe sattha anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahidika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu lokasasanan. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahidika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desana. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahidika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti. Chirang rakkhantu tvang sadati. Also, may we be in the company of the Kalyana Mitra's noble friends till we attain Nibbana, not with the partners. Taking thus, we're going to recite the additional stanza. Imina punya kammene mami bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yavanimbana patantiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating to this point of time be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silisse nichang vadha pachayinam chattaro dhamma vadhanti ayuvanno sukhang balam ayurarogya sampatti sakta sampatti mevache ato nibbana sampatti iminati samijjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu,
sadhu.
With that, we're going to end our session today. Thank you very much. At the same time, have a very good night. Take care. And see you next Friday for our next Dhammacakkappavattana, which is going to be Samma Ajiva. Right.
Thank you, Bhante. Good night.
Thank you, Lim, for supporting technically today. Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Good night, brothers, sisters,
Everybody.
everyone. Good night.